Honda Shadow series has been around since the 1980s, and over time, it has built a reputation for reliability, comfort, and an easygoing cruiser spirit. While Harley-Davidson dominated the American cruiser scene, Honda's Shadow offered something different: Japanese engineering with classic cruiser looks, but at a price and performance level that made sense for everyday riders. Now, the 2026 Honda Shadow 750 has arrived, carrying forward that legacy into a modern era. The question is, can the Shadow still stand strong in a market where technology, performance, and even electric cruisers are rising fast? Today, we'll take a complete look at everything the 2026 Shadow 750 brings to the table, from design and performance to value and legacy. A quick look back: the Shadow lineage. To really appreciate the 2026 version, we need to step back. The Honda Shadow first appeared in the 1980s, with models like the VT750 becoming household names among cruiser enthusiasts. Riders loved the Shadow because it was approachable, lighter and more reliable than many American cruisers, yet still carrying the V-twin heartbeat that defines this style of bike. Over the decades, the Shadow 750 became the sweet spot: not too big, not too small, and always ready for city streets or weekend road trips. The Shadow stood as an alternative for riders who wanted cruiser looks and comfort without the higher costs or heavy weight of larger bikes. That same DNA runs through the 2026 version, but now with refinements to keep it relevant in today's riding world. Styling and presence: retro with a twist. The first thing that strikes you about the 2026 Shadow 750 is its look. Honda has kept the classic cruiser silhouette, long, low, and wide, but modernized it with cleaner lines and updated details. The teardrop-shaped tank, chrome exhaust pipes, and sweeping fenders keep the bike instantly recognizable as a Shadow. But Honda knows today's riders want more than nostalgia. That's why we see LED headlamps and taillights, sleeker instrument clusters, and bold new paint options. Riders can choose between traditional glossy finishes like black and candy red, or more modern matte tones like dark gray and matte navy. These design updates make the Shadow appeal to both old-school cruiser fans and younger riders looking for modern flair. Engine: the heartbeat of the Shadow. At the core of the Shadow 750 is the 745 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled SOHC V-twin engine. For 2026, Honda hasn't reinvented the wheel, but it has made smart updates. The fuel injection system has been recalibrated for smoother throttle response, and emissions have been brought in line with the latest 5 Euro Plus standards without compromising on performance. The engine produces around 50 horsepower and 47 pound-foot of torque, delivered in a smooth, low-end surge that cruiser riders love. What makes the Shadow stand out isn't raw power, it's the consistency. The V-twin hums along effortlessly, delivering that deep, throaty exhaust note that reminds you why people fall in love with cruisers in the first place. Transmission and shaft drive advantage. One of the Shadow's most underrated features is its shaft drive system. Unlike chain-driven bikes, shaft drives require far less maintenance, stay cleaner, and last longer. For riders who want to ride more and wrench less, this is a huge win. The 5-speed gearbox pairs well with the engine's torque-heavy nature. Gear shifts are smooth and predictable, and the clutch action has been lightened for 2026. Whether you're crawling through traffic or cruising down Route 66, the Shadow delivers an easy, stress-free ride. Comfort and rider ergonomics. Cruisers live or die by comfort, and Honda clearly understands that. The Shadow 750 features a low 25.8-inch seat height, making it approachable for riders of all sizes. The wide, padded seat and forward-set foot pegs create a relaxed riding triangle. For taller riders, the handlebars are positioned just right to avoid feeling cramped. Honda has also worked on reducing engine vibrations, adding extra damping in the mounts. At highway speeds, this makes a noticeable difference. Long rides feel smoother, less fatiguing, and more enjoyable. Suspension and handling. The 2026 Shadow is not a sport bike, and it doesn't pretend to be. What it does promise is stability, balance, and confidence. Up front, you'll find a 41mm telescopic fork, and in the rear, twin shocks that are preload adjustable. This suspension setup isn't fancy, but it gets the job done. At around 560 pounds curb weight, the Shadow has enough heft to feel planted but not so much that it becomes a chore at slow speeds. The low center of gravity makes U-turns and parking lot maneuvers easier than many larger cruisers. Out on the highway, the bike tracks straight and true, soaking up bumps and giving you that signature cruiser glide. Braking confidence. Braking is handled by a single front disc with twin-piston calipers and a rear drum brake. While some may see the rear drum as dated, Honda has kept it for simplicity and character. The big upgrade here is the inclusion of standard ABS, which gives riders extra safety without changing the classic braking feel. For everyday cruising and relaxed riding, the system works well. The Shadow isn't designed for aggressive riding, so the braking setup matches its personality perfectly. Modern features without losing soul. Honda has been careful not to overload the Shadow with unnecessary gadgets. The bike still feels like a pure cruiser. However, it does include useful updates. A hybrid analog-digital instrument cluster that adds a digital fuel gauge, gear indicator, and trip meter. Full LED lighting for better visibility and efficiency. An optional Bluetooth module for riders who want turn-by-turn navigation or call alerts without cluttering the dash. This balance ensures that modern riders get conveniences without sacrificing the bike's traditional cruiser soul. Fuel economy and range. The Shadow has always been economical, and the 2026 model continues that tradition. Riders can expect around 55 miles per gallon, which, paired with its 3.7-gallon tank, gives a real-world range of about 200 miles. For commuters, this means fewer stops at the gas station. For weekend riders, it means longer stretches of open road before refueling. Customization, make it yours. No cruiser is complete without personalization. The Shadow 750 is known for its custom-friendly platform, and Honda has embraced that. For 2026, official accessories include saddlebags and luggage racks for touring, windscreens for highway comfort, chrome or blacked-out exhaust options, custom seats and backrests for two-up riding. Beyond Honda's catalog, the aftermarket world offers endless ways to make a Shadow unique. Whether you're going for a bobber look, a touring cruiser, or just adding subtle touches, the Shadow is a blank canvas. Price and affordability. In a market where prices keep climbing, Honda has kept the Shadow accessible. The base model starts at around $8,999, undercutting many rivals. Considering the shaft drive, Honda reliability, and included ABS, that's a strong value. For riders in the USA, this positions the Shadow as one of the best bang-for-your-buck cruisers. It's affordable enough for new riders yet built solidly enough to last for years. Competitors in the mid-size cruiser class. The Shadow 750 sits in a competitive space. Let's compare. Harley-Davidson Iron 883, more raw character, but higher price and more maintenance. Yamaha Bolt R-Spec, sportier feel, but lacks the shaft drive's low maintenance. Kawasaki Vulcan S, adjustable ergonomics and modern styling, but more mechanical upkeep. What sets the Shadow apart is its combination of reliability, shaft drive, affordability, and classic looks. It may not be the flashiest, but it's often the most practical. Ownership experience, living with a Shadow. Honda's strength has always been dependability. Owners of older Shadows often report racking up tens of thousands of miles with minimal issues. Regular oil changes, tire care, and shaft drive maintenance are about all it takes to keep a Shadow running strong. Insurance costs are relatively low compared to larger cruisers, and parts availability in the USA is excellent. For riders looking for a long-term,